to figure out who they are. This time period, you know, usually people will do it for, I'm sorry, my child just popped a balloon right next to me. Usually young people will participate in these programs right after high school or, you know, in the middle of college. And this is such an important formative time for young people. So it's a great opportunity to take a year off of school and experience the world, learn about themselves, learn about other people, learn about God, learn about their faith, and really make a strong foundation for their future. So I really encourage young people to participate in a gap year program if it's something that's of interest to them. And tonight we get to hear from representatives from programs all over the place. So I'm really excited to be able to listen to each of them. The first program we're going to hear from is NGA, and we have Uncle Eric here who's going to be representing. Let me unmute you here, and I will hand it over to you. Welcome, Uncle Eric.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see a lot of your faces that I do see. Calling you from Valley Springs, California, and Ione, where our NGA farm is, and that's where we held most of our trainings. I thought it might be useful. We just had a family workshop last week. Was the best family. Sorry, Sharky, it was the best family workshop ever. You missed it. And we did a video presentation, I think, that might help, and that encapsulates the entire year. So if you would, you can just go through the year. I can go through the year with you of this past year, and it might be useful to understand what we do. That's basically our calendar year of all the trainings that we do and the fundraising workshops that we do and the fundraising campaigns. First campaign, first fundraising condition. You see that part of the United States. We had 5 teams out. The average for that first condition, 293. In November, we have 2 major workshops and 1 major element that we give to the participants. Connection workshop is really just to get to know everybody, and very simple but quite powerful. The next thing is own your own town. For many of us, what Father called this was essentially pioneering. Everybody gets a chance to be dropped off with nothing in their own town for 4 days, which is quite profound. Communication workshop to uncover things in our lives that we're ashamed of and to be able to empower ourselves through letting go of shame. Very unique workshop. Then we go into a super challenge mode for the Christmas season. This is the states that we're in with 5 different teams. These are the top results. The average, best team average was 725. Total team for condition was 90. Then we go into, in the beginning, and everybody comes back from Christmas break. Oh my God. Thank you. This year we had our guest lecturers, Ron Pappalardo and David Young. For many of you might know David Young, really brilliant coach and counselor. Hang on a second, let me make sure that my computer doesn't close here. Sorry about that. Faith Workshop was very powerful this year because it was a combination of a real deep UC perspective together with a more ontological approach, which is a coaching approach of David Young. And many of our participants had powerful experience with that. Train the Trainer is what we do to help young people get in front of the room. We do a program called Momentum, and Momentum is very challenging and powerful because we get in front of high school kids throughout California, and it's basically an anti-bullying workshop. But Train the Trainer is to prepare all our first years with with getting up in front of a room full of people, a room full of strangers, and it's probably one of the most dynamic elements for leadership growth. Then we go into third fundraising condition. And our third condition is they're captains, they're all first-year captains. Pretty challenging to be a first-year captain, and third condition is often very challenging. This year they did pretty well. They had about a $300 average. Right after that, they go into their international service project. This year we went to Bangladesh, Nepal, Malawi, India, Rwanda, Zambia, and South Africa. All different types of elements in those ISP workshops. Many of them do the teaching. A lot of it is also the anti-bullying stuff that we do in America, we also do in Africa. Family workshop, which we just had, really an outstanding workshop with parents and siblings. It's something that we actually want to take on the road. It's that powerful, and it's an NGA workshop. It's not just a get together. We actually do challenge and empower, and we do breakthrough activities in this workshop. And then May, they'll come back next week and do the Converge workshop. This is a very, very different kind of workshop. As Father would say, this is like a death workshop, and that they really understand what it is to kill their egoic self. Very powerful. Many of them say that this is the best workshop they have. And then after that, we'll have our closing workshop. So that's pretty much a year in a nutshell. Typically, we also do, which will come up in June, is Ignite, which many of our first and second years, our staff for Ignite, it's a one-week experiential training, and then that usually is the kickoff for Summer Challenge, where they take on about 20 mostly high school kids for a month program. How am I doing for time, Kaylee?
You got 1 minute left.
Okay. One thing that, let me see if I can get out of this screen now. Can you help me? Oh, yeah, stop share. You can look at my face now. One thing that we are, to sum us up, we've done some new work. We got a whole different leadership team with NGA, and we're actually doing almost like a rebranding. We are a faith-based leadership organization. We're a 501c3 educational organization. We are not directly sponsored by the church. We are completely separate from any funds or connection with church personnel. But we are a training that fundamentally want people to know themselves. Father's point for me was to understand our conscience and to understand a deeper sensitivity of that conscience. For us, the only way that does, really well is to get to know and be more sensitive to the way God thinks of you. So it's not necessarily written into the program, but my number one thing that I say to both first years and second years is that my primary goal is for them to have a personal relationship with God. And my second goal is to marry them well, to get blessed. So that's why I do what I do. And that's why, I think NGA has done so well for the last 11 years. I'm done.
That's great. Thank you so much. I like that last point, marry them well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now we're going to switch gears. We're going to be hearing from Cecile Caron and Iowa Hunter. They're representing the DONE program. and I will hand it over to them. Are you ready, girls?
Yes. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, my name is Cecile. This is Iowa.
Hi.
And we are representing Dunn. We both participated in the program for a full year, and then we went back for a second year to staff. So that's just our experience with the program. So I guess we'll go over as well just the structure of Dunn, and then maybe we'll touch on our personal experiences a little bit. So Dunn is structured in 3 modules. And you need to complete the first module to do any of the others, but you can choose. You could just do 1 module or all 3 or 2 of them. So the first module typically starts in October to December. It's about 8 to 10 weeks. And this is really just focused on education workshops. So there's divine principle workshops, there's a blessing workshop, different leadership workshops, and intercultural communication. There's a lot of many different countries and cultures that come to Dunn. So that's, yeah, a big part of it, just learning how to communicate with each other. And then aside from the education workshops, there is also fundraising. So about 2 to 4 weeks of fundraising training. Yeah, so that's pretty simple for that first module. And then there's about a 6-week break, and then is Dunn Mission 1, which is the second module. And that's a little bit longer. It's about 3 months. And as well, it has longer fundraising period. It has education workshops, more DP workshops, and leadership training. But aside from that, there's service projects. So we go, this is based in Slovakia. The whole program is in Doneška Lužna, a really small Slovakian town. So for the service projects, we go out into the town, we get to know the school kids there, do different projects with them. And then also the group runs their own high school workshop for second gen all over Eastern Europe. So they plan it, they team lead, they direct it. So that's really, yeah, Mission 1 is really a chance for all the participants to take ownership and take leadership positions. And there's other things. There's also a mountain challenge where you all go out into the mountains together, and different things. But in general, the second module is more focused on owning your own experience. And then the third module, there's another break, about 6 weeks. And the third module is over the summer, and that's staffing the summer workshops. So the European Second Generation Department, they run workshops for high schoolers, for kids, for second gen with disabilities, and it spans pretty much July and August. So there's also the option to further move up in your growth and in your leadership, and to staff those, and yeah, really help plan those. Yeah, so that's the structure. There are a lot of breaks in between. So what we did, we stayed in Europe our first year. You meet a lot of people, you can get to know them more, or there's also other workshops going on in between. So some people are concerned about that break, but there's always something to do. Or it's a good opportunity to go home and kind of reconnect back home. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then kind of just to talk about a bit about the mission statement, or the focus, I guess, for Dunn. And it kind of throughout all the modules, what you'll experience is it's highly focused on spirituality, like defining your spirituality, and then also understanding your identity as a second gen. These are kind of like the pillars for that whole education, all our divine principle workshops, our blessing training. It's really kind of to understand the world and understand our role in it, especially as second generation. Yeah, and in my personal experience, that was really what I was seeking in my gap year, and that's really what I could gain. That was the most valuable thing I could gain, was this new perspective and new approach towards my faith and my life of faith, my relationship to God, as well as the movement and the church as a whole. So that's pretty, that's like a very kind of, I guess, big focus for Dunn. It's very, I guess, natural in that regard. It's a little more really up to the participant to create those relationships, to create those opportunities for themselves to ask those hard questions. But I think the environment it strives for is to create something that nurtures those good questions, like critical thinking, deeper thinking, and also for you to have that ownership over your life of faith and your, personal understanding of who you are. So those are like kind of very big focus points. The blessing is another big focus point. We have a workshop in Dunn and then a further in-depth one on Mission One. And that's, I think that's another really good opportunity. There is just with a lot of lecturers and good education and content to gain those understandings.
So I guess I would say that's 3 minutes left. That's one of the main kind of focuses of Dunn is gaining clarity in your own life of faith, in the blessing and the movement. I know there's like many confusing things. So for me, that was a big takeaway. It was just having some clarity that I could say like, yeah, this is what I believe. And I know because I questioned it and I thought and I don't know, now looking back at it from a distance, I feel that you kind of take that mindset with you of like really thinking about things rather than just accepting things face on. And I guess the other pillar would be leadership experiences and kind of slowly growing your leadership. So I think anybody that you see a change in someone when they've taken on a leadership position. And I've seen that in myself and in many other people. So I think Dunn kind of, it's focused on slowly expanding your leadership experience and slowly expanding your ability to focus on others and to kind of grow your focus past just yourself. Yes. So thank you, everybody. Hopefully we represented it well.
Yes.
Thank you, girls. Great job. Thank you, Dunn. Our next program is going to be all the way from Europe. Iowa and Cecile participated in, European-based program, but they live in the U.S. So thank you, Deborah, for joining us internationally. I have no idea what time it is over there, but thank you. And I'll hand it over to you. She's going to be talking about STF Europe.
Hi, hello everyone. Hi from Europe. It's 3 a.m. over here. We got the third years with me. So STF, we got a 1-year program starting in September, around middle of September, ending beginning of August. From next year is actually going to change. We're going to end by the end of July. This is a program designed for young members of our movement, not necessarily second gen. We have had experiences with first generation young members as well, and third generation too. So it is designed for young members of the movement. We have main objectives, definitely development of our relationship with the Heavenly Parent. We do have a lot of workshops that develop towards this direction, but also activities like going fundraising and witnessing too, for longer time, to really be able for the participants to go deeper on a level that they could have never done before, just joining workshops for like summer. So the year does start with fundraising mainly. We do have workshops in the middle. We start with a longer workshop and then they go into fundraising gradually until December. So from September to December is there's some echoing from someone. Okay. So from September to December is actually mainly fundraising with workshops in the middle. And then during the New Year time, the STF members are actually able to be going home if they want to get the chance for about 10 days. So they have this little break from the program to be able to see also how much they have gained facing home situations again, and then coming back in January with mainly witnessing. And we do have another fundraising period around Easter time. And as some of others mentioned, we do have a family parents workshop too around Easter. We just had one very beautiful here in Rome. And also something we're developing this year is to have a workshop based on true parents' life and heart. This is going to happen just before our trip to Korea, which is happening every year regularly since a few years. It has been a chance to really deepen the relationship with True Parents as well for the STF members. It's been proven to be a very successful experience for them to experience True Parents culture and to be able to see champions. Some of them have never been there before. So that's something we are developing. This workshop mainly focused on True Parents life and True Parents heart and teaching, and straight after going to Korea. The rest of the program, it's mainly witnessing. We do try to center a lot on what is True Mother's current guidance, especially for Europe. She's encouraging us to focus a lot in Albania, so that's where most of the teams are. But also this year we have been sending teams to one team to Manchester in England, so to be able to give them more of a Western type of experience. And then we have also one team in Romania, one in Kosovo. So this experience really gives an opportunity to us to send the people who need to be in certain different countries to where they need to be, basically. What else? It's a program that one of the aims of the program, besides the developing relationship with Heavenly Parent, True Parents, is also to develop relationship with their own parents. We do give them time to write deep letters at home. With this family workshop also we have activities for them to reconnect with their parents, and just by doing mission, many of the participants do experience a deeper understanding of what their parents have gone through. But also what we focus a lot on is building relationships that can last after a year, and to build relationships that can be helpful for when they go back home. The program can be done for 1 year, 2 or 3 years. Obviously, as you go on, there will be different type of challenges, different type of responsibilities as well. And I was really happy to see at the last European Leaders meeting, many of the former STF members taking ownership over European leadership. So I was really happy to see actually STF can contribute also in this way to the European movement. They do really they're willing to take ownership after the year is over in different ways, different levels, CARP, HARP, even Women's Federation, different type of leadership. So yeah, I think my time is almost over, but it is definitely a program that is still on development. It's not perfect yet, but we have a great staff, and I'm really grateful to be working with amazing people. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all of you for being up at 3 in the morning. We're really grateful for your time. And last but not least, we're going to hear from GPA. We have Jan and Rosia here who are in the midst of a workshop right now, so I know they have a lot going on. Thanks for being with us, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, take it away.
Okay, cool. Sorry, let me just put on a timer so we know where we're at. So hi, my name's Jan Pearson. I'm from Minnesota originally. I currently live in New Jersey with my wife. I was an STF, I'm an STF alumni of 2008 to 2010, did 2 years, and had a great time on STF, learned so many things, and I owe so much to the program. So I decided to come on as staff a couple years ago, and yeah, that's me, who I am, and this is.
I'm Rosia. I'm also a staff on the program. I did 2 years from 2010 to 12. I am happily blessed. This is my husband.
Hello.
We've been blessed for 3 years. And after I finished my bachelor's, I felt that God really called me to come back to this program. It was amazing for my life of faith, and it really changed my blessing and who I am today. And I'm really happy to represent it. So real quick to start off, we have 3 main objectives that we hope that our graduates can gain. It really is a faith-based program. So we hope that you, first off, can really build. We worked with you to build a personal relationship with God and with True Parents. through all the activities we do throughout the year. We also, number 2, we do a lot of divine principle. We teach a lot of divine principle. We practice a lot of divine principle. Our hope is that when you go home, you're able to really know, live, and be able to share actually the divine principle and what really is precious that we've been given in our movement, and that you can lead yourself and really be able to make a change in the world. We have a really beautiful culture to share, and we hope that you can be able to share that by the time you get off the program.
Yeah.
So for the activities.
So, as young people in our church right now, I just want to share a few things about GPA that we feel are really awesome and great opportunities that you can learn from GPA or gain possibly by coming. So one of those things, kind of what STF here was talking about, is understanding your parents' role and their history in the church, like through fundraising especially and witnessing. Many kids, and myself and probably Rosia included, have had amazing experience being able to understand our parents and relate to our parents in a way that we never thought we would be able to before. And I can attest to that. Personally, we saw so many amazing and the parents at this families workshop we were just at, and it was amazing. We're just finishing up, but anyways, the next thing is developing lasting relationships within our community. As every year, all the kids that you end up interacting with in your teams, at the workshops, we have sharings with each other, have great times doing sports, and all the different activities that we do, learning divine principle. All these activities help to develop a relationship that you never forget and you never lose, no matter how long it is. And I can attest to that through the alumni reunion we just had through our alumni association. And I just met up with 5 of my STF alumni graduates the same year as me. And it had been so long, we got together, we got to talk about things and seeing where everybody's at and just kind of reconnecting since then. Yeah, oh, sorry, I got 3.5 minutes. Another awesome thing is Overseas Service Project. We love our Overseas Project. I think a lot of people know about that. We'll talk about it in a bit. And a new initiative that we've been doing more recently is witnessing. Witnessing is something we've put into our program more and more in the past couple of years, and we've even implemented into the Overseas Service Project for the first time this year, witnessing overseas. As Chunoguk Missionaries, which is an initiative that your mother asked the United States and all the other countries as well to start, but we also initiated as the Overseas Service Project as well. So anyways, there's lots more things that you can learn and that you can gain, but I just want to go through the calendar quickly. We always start our year off at the awesome Unification Theological Seminary. It's a historical place for our church, and we feel like it's an awesome atmosphere to have workshops and to learn the divine principle, especially learning about Father's course and the personal moments that Father had at UTS and learning from people that interacted with him on a daily basis when they were studying to become priests or, pastors and things like that. And after that, we go into our first fundraising condition. And for the first 4 months of GPA, generally it's a fundraising time period to raise funds for the projects that we do throughout the year, the workshops, the Overseas Service Project, and the other things as well. And
Also really,
oh yeah, sorry.
a really environment where you had a lot of challenges and you really faced yourself a lot. And it's kind of incredible. It's challenging, but you change more than you've ever changed in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So that starts right after kickoff workshop.
Yeah, and fundraising is, of course, first and foremost a means to raise funds for the program, but GPA sees fundraising as a means to learn and develop character and build your relationship with God and true parents, which we feel is incredibly important on our program. And even if we had the funds, we'd continue to do fundraising as a means to educate in that way. Okay. So next up, after fundraising, we end up into our break, which is in December. We end up going home for about a little bit less than 2 weeks, right before Christmas, after our Christmas fundraising competition. And it's a great time. People get to go home, see their families. And then we come back, and then we have one more fundraising condition. But before that, we do a 7-day Divine Principle lecture training workshop where all the kids learn to they study and they learn to give their own lectures to be able to teach and also understand the principle on their own. And because we feel that the best way to learn the principle is first and foremost to teach it.
Opportunity in America, we have lectures on every workshop, and we even in that January workshop, we started the Bible with Reverend Jackson. So we have really cool opportunities with our workshops.
So after that, we have a fundraising edition, like I was saying. Then we go into our overseas service project, which lasts 3 weeks, 21 days. This past year, we went to the Philippines, Paraguay, and Peru. Paraguay was a new country. It was really awesome. Really great work that we did there. Don't have time to go into the specifics of the projects, but from there, we go into our final fundraising competition of the year. And then after that, we have a bunch of things that go on because our year splits up into our captain's training group, our Chanukuk missionary and training group, and then the rest of the first years, they go into a program called RYS, Religious Youth Service in Washington, D.C. under Tomiko Duggan, where they interact with and learn a lot about her projects there. And I'm running out of time, so I'm going to go really quickly. And
We're starting as we have end of the year culture board, kind of the way you look at the world and how it's different in our movement versus in kind of the society. And then we end with a DP lecture workshop. So I mean, I know we're out of time, but this program changed my life and my relationship with God and my marriage, and I can't say enough about it. We'll answer questions, but thanks for listening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Great. So we've had a lot of information thrown at us, and I'd like to open it up for questions. If you're using a video service, all you need to do is wave your hand if you have a question. Or if you're on the phone, I believe if you're muted, you have to press *6 to unmute yourself. Also, if you're using a computer, you can send a question via the chat. I'm sending a link out now that has information about all these different programs, their websites, and their basic programming, what happens, and contact information. So you can use that way. So does anybody have any questions? Maybe you want to hear more about a specific point that somebody mentioned or differentiation between a program. Go ahead and wave your hand or unmute yourself and ask away. We have somebody typing a question too, so we can take it that way. No questions, really? Oh, okay. Is there a summer challenge this year? Maybe that's for NGA, Uncle Eric?
There will be no summer challenge this year. There will be one Ignite starting on June 24th through June 27th.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions? Yes.
What are the application deadlines for each program?
Great, let's go in the same order that we presented.
The deadline for NGA will be the middle of May. About May 15th.
Great. Iowa and Cecile, do you know?
Usually it's mid-June. They actually haven't put up the application yet, but if you check esgdmedia.org, it should be up soon. But yeah, typically in
Mid-June. Yeah.
Thank you. And Deborah?
For SDF also, the applications will be sent out by the end of the month, and usually we give time until the beginning of August, not later than that.
Thank you. And Jan Razia?
So our applications are open. I'll put the URL in the text afterwards, but our early bird deadline ends today at midnight. So if you want to have a free application, today is the day to do it. But otherwise, we accept rolling applications throughout the year. We do put a hard deadline on it in July, but if someone's going to apply and they have a really strong desire, we have a pretty rigorous interview process that we go through. And if they have a strong desire, we'll still accept applicants after that as well. So if that answers your question.
Thank you. Anybody else have a question?
I think I just sent that to you only, Kelly.
Okay, it's in the link that I sent out, Jan. All the information is there, so they can find it through the main page. There's a question of how much each program is. Uncle Eric?
The full year program is $3,900.
Thank you. Iowa, Cecile?
So with the DONE program, the first module, that's 1,000 euros generally, and then you pay your airfare out there as well. And then following that, DONE Mission 1 is actually free. It's just a $500 deposit that you get back at the end of Mission 1. And as for summer workshops, that's kind of touch and go depending on how many workshops you staff and, you know, your travel costs between, but that's something you work out with them.
Thank you. And Deborah?
SCF fee is around 700 euros, which I guess in dollars, something like $800, something like that. And it's for the whole year. It includes all the travel expenses that will be happening during the year, except the winter break after Christmas time. When they go back home, that has to be on their own expense. But everything else is covered.
Thank you. And GPA?
GPA's tuition fee for the first year is $4,000. After the first year, there isn't a tuition fee, but we encourage the applicants to all come to a pre-fundraising condition, which happens before kickoff workshop. It's during August, like right after Sports Fest, basically. And they can come raise funds to pay for their tuition. And oftentimes many people can pay for even a quarter or half, up to like half of the tuition that way.
And we have a program where you can pay monthly.
Yeah, so you don't have to pay for everything up front. It can be paid for in installments throughout the 10-month year.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? Is witnessing fun? That's quite a question, Chris. Thank you. Does anybody want to answer that?
I could answer a little bit.
Go ahead.
I think witnessing can. Oh, hello. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Our connection's really bad here. Hello.
Yeah.
You're good. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I can answer a little bit. Witnessing absolutely can be an amazingly fun experience. Me personally, I did a full year of witnessing on my second year of STF. I had amazing experiences in New York City, which is an incredibly difficult place to witness, but still had a lot of fun meeting people and introducing them to our culture, and like not just the principle itself as a book, but our culture as people of our community. And it's a really fun way to learn about our community and our history, and also to share what you believe with other people. And did you want to say something about it?
I think it's also very satisfying.
Yeah, that's true.
When you find someone who you can really change their life, you've never felt before. When you can hand them a truth that really changes who they are and how they live their life. Yeah, it can be fun because you really want that atmosphere when you bring people in, but it's definitely challenging too.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind.
Hope that helps.
You all your programs do fundraising. Anybody want to speak to it?
We could take a crack at it if nobody else wants to.
Thanks, GPA.
Okay, sure. I think absolutely fundraising can be fun. I had a great time fundraising. I mean, not only is it like the fundraising itself, the activity is not meant to be an easy thing to do. You're going out there day in and day out, and pushing yourself to approach people that most of the time are going to reject you. They're going to give you either maybe a nice rejection or a difficult rejection. And then when those people that don't reject you, that are very open to receiving what you have to say, come around, it becomes such a fulfilling experience being able to talk to those people. And it's even like kind of witnessing in and of itself. It's kind of like the baby form of witnessing, I would say, because every interaction you have with someone is a form of witnessing, really. And when you fundraise to them, you're able to share who you are, and that in turn reflects on who we are as a community and who we are as a faith, as a faith community, I guess. In terms of other parts of fundraising is not just like going out and being on the pavement and talking to people, but you're in this team atmosphere on GPA, at least. I'm not sure the other programs, where you have a captain and you have other members in your team where you get to interact with them. You eat food with them. You guys are living as a family, oftentimes just in a van, which is seemingly kind of strange, but is incredibly fun in a way, and is an experience you'll never forget for your entire life. And yeah, basically I loved it. I thought it was fun, but it was definitely difficult and an experience that I wouldn't trade for anything else. Yeah.
The value in fundraising is when it is challenging.
That's
How
totally
you
true.
face those challenges.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We also want to talk about fundraising.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to second that it's really fun.
It's fun if you embrace that you're going to put yourself out there
Yeah,
and be challenged. Then it's fun.
I think especially within Europe, it can be a totally different experience, because if you're coming from America, especially, you have to learn another language or a line in another language, and there's this whole beautiful kind of experience that you get to share with people that goes beyond language or beyond words, and it's kind of really exciting and just completely, you wouldn't imagine you'd find yourself in these, just sitting having coffee with some random Austrian woman talking about her life in broken English. So it's kind of like these special moments where, yeah, definitely it's fun if you, like Cecile was saying, if you embrace it and you commit to it, it can be just completely experiences you couldn't have imagined can happen to you and for you. So fundraising is great. No matter where you are, you can have a good experience fundraising.
Yeah. It's also very confronting, but
yes.
Yeah.
You also
keep
grow.
that in mind.
Thank you. All right, we'll do one more question. Can each of you share, I know each of you kind of mentioned it, but when your programs start and end, so people know exactly how long things are, starting with Uncle Eric.
So second year training begins in the first part of September. And the first years come in the last week of September. Program typically goes from September to the end of July. There's a break at Christmas, and there's a 2 to 3 week spring break. And then, we finish typically the last week of July.
Thank you. And done?
So done, it can be as short, it starts in October. If you just do the first module, it can end as short as December. If you do 2 modules, it ends in May, or if you do all 3, it ends in July or August.
August, thank you. And STF?
We start in the middle of September next year on the 18th of September, and then it will end by the end of July, so the last Sunday of the month with the graduation ceremony. We also have this winter break in the middle around New Year time, but yeah, let's say September, July.
Thank you. And GPA?
So the GPA year always starts in the first week of September with a kickoff workshop and then ends with our graduation. This year it's in June 10th, but it's always in the second week of June. And the GPA pre-fundraising condition starts in the last couple weeks of August.
Great, thank you. So it's been almost 1 hour. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I hope that this was valuable. All of the contact information for the programs is available in that link that I sent you. And if you have any trouble, you can email me and I'm happy to get you in contact with these people. Yeah, so good luck making your decisions, and hopefully everybody has a great experience on their gap year next year. If you can join me in prayer, I will close us out. Most beloved Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for this time that we could hear from the different programs. I really pray that we can let this information soak in and use our own conscience and our parents and those around us to make a good decision that is good for our walk of life, Heavenly Father, that can really enrich our relationship with you and your parents and our understanding of ourselves and the world. We want to offer this time to you in the name of David and Kaylee Moffat of Blessed Central Family, Jew. Thank you again, everybody, for joining. Special thank you to our program representatives. Really grateful for your time, especially Europe. Thank you for being awake at 3 in the morning. Have a good rest of your evening, everybody. Take care.